Okay, so it is the second round of the season of the 1988 Formulalympics, and now we are at Silverstone, and we're going back to the full circuit this season, with Gerhard Berger leading the way after winning the first race of the season, with Alboreto second and Carlos Sainz third for Spain. How will things unfold going into this round? And now going into this round, we have 2 driver changes in the F1 division and 3 driver changes in the F2 division. First off, the injured Walter Brunn and Kirkland are replaced by Baron Santel, representing Switzerland in F2, so his seat has been replaced, and Ian Duncan replacing the injured Mike Kirkland. And Jan Laurens has been suspended, but the Netherlands hasn't got a third driver, which means Arie Luyendyk will be all alone representing the Netherlands. And the F2 division, the drive changes are Bjorn Waldegaard replacing the suspended Kenneth Eriksson, with Gerhard Berger being replaced by Pierre de Doon after Belgium were very disappointed with Gerhard Berger's performance in the first round, and Pierre-Alain Lombardi of Switzerland has taken the vacant seat that Santel has left behind, replacing Walter Brunn. So how will things unfold? How will these drivers making their first appearance of the season do? Let's get into the F1 pre-qualifying session first, as we'll have the pre-qualifying list already displayed on screen, as we will now make our way over to the first pre-qualifying group. And here we go. Here's the first group of pre-qualifying. Now, as you can see in this group, Santel, the man making his debut for Switzerland, is in this group. So we'll see if he can make it into group qualifying. Meanwhile, we've got Derek Warwick, who's going to be going out to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat for the United Kingdom. Of course, the UK had both drivers qualify in the last round of West Germany, but both of them ended up with a DNF finish. So that's what they're here having to do pre-qualifying. But so can Warwick and Mansell get into group qualifying and qualify for the race here at their home race in Silverstone? We'll certainly find out in the next 9 minutes if they can at least get to group qualifying. And here we go, last turn, and coming across the line, the time is, for everyone to beat, 1:32.8. That seems like a really quick time. What about the American that's right behind him? That's a Chiva, 1:34.0. So 1.2 seconds off Derek Warwick's pace. That's because someone about to come across the finish line to set their first time, and that's Stig Blomqvist. 1:33.5 is his time. That seems like a pretty good time as well. Coming across the line, not even close, nowhere close. 5 seconds off Warwick's time, and a good portion of his best time as well. What about the driver? He's going to try and finish his lap, but he's going to be way behind his personal best, let alone Derek Warwick's time. Going to go last corner for him, and come across the line. He does a 1:39.6, really slow time for him. With 90 seconds left of the session, so he'll have time for one more run. But I don't think the driver will be able to manage. I don't think Santos will be either. So, I think for Joaquim Santos, he can either do one more run, so go to the pits and abort the session. Yeah, he's going to go to the pits, so he is officially not going to pre-qualify. Rufino Fontes starting his flying lap with his last chance to try and get ahead of Ricciardi. He is 6/10 slower than him at the moment, so he needs to try and find an extra 6/10 of a second of pace to beat the Argentine and get into group qualifying. 1.19 seconds off the pace. That at the moment will probably be good enough for probably 7th position. So he needs to keep pushing if he wants to try and get into group qualifying. The session's over, so Berger driver is out, and Joaquim Santos is also out. So it's going to be down to Ricciardi and Fontes, maybe Arie Luyendyk if Ricciardi improves his time. Here we go, coming down to sector 2, coming to the 1 minute mark. Needs to try and beat 1:06.5. He's not going to be anywhere near that time, that's for sure, but can he at least get close to his personal best? Oh, 3.2. No, I think Fontes is not going to qualify. 3.2 seconds is a huge amount of time to be behind. Ricciardi improves his time, he goes into 9th, so that puts Luyendyk in danger. But Rufino Fontes is going to abort the lap, and that is going to be him officially out of pre-qualifying. As we just got to wait for everyone else to finish their last. Oh no, right, the session is officially over. And so here we are. Derek Warwick wins the first pre-qualifying group. Alain Prost takes second. Nigel Mansell's in third. Stig Blomqvist is in fourth. Thibaut Salomon takes fifth. Bernard Santal is sixth. Then it's A. Cheever, Salomon, Ricciardi, and the last person to make it to group qualifying is Arie Luyendyk. So we say goodbye to both the Portuguese drivers of Frino Fontes and Joaquim Santos. And Bernard the driver, very, very disappointing performance from the Belgium. And with that out of the way, it's time to move over to the second lot of pre-qualifying. And here we go. Here is the second group for pre-qualifying. As you can see, we've got Ian Duncan making his debut for Kenya in this group. Now, will he be able to join Bernard Santal and get out pre-qualifying in his first attempt? So Vic Preston will be going out for Kenya to set the benchmark for everyone else to try and beat. And here we go, the benchmark time for Vic Preston's about to be revealed. And what's the time for everyone else to try and beat? It is 1:36.8, about 3 seconds slower than Warwick's winning time in the first pre-qualifying group. And there's Ari Vatanen with a 1:35.8, goes top of this group. But it doesn't matter about the fast time, it's just about being the top 10 to make it to group qualifying. As we got some other drivers making their way across the line, we've got Ian Duncan of Kenya making his debut, 1:35.0, 1.8 seconds faster than his teammate Vic Preston. So a really good run there from Ian Duncan. Very, very impressive run indeed. As we got some of the other drivers about to come across the line to set their first times. We've got Neil Krang, 1:35.3. And we've got Stefan Johansson of Sweden, 1:34.3, 7/10 faster than the Kenyan, goes fastest in this group so far. But we're about halfway into the session, so let's see how things will play out for the remaining 5 minutes. As we got some other drivers making their way across the line, we've got Jean-Louis Schleser of France going to 5th, and now Thierry Boutsen of Belgium goes into the lead, 1:34.1, 2/10 faster than Johansson. And more significantly, a lot faster than his teammate Bert Driver, who didn't make it out of pre-qualifying. Ludwig Heinrich goes into second with a 1:34.2. What can Heinrich do here? We've got Boy Rahal and Leroy. They got the two slowest times, 1:36.9 and 1:37.5. In fact, Leroy is now in danger of going out. Vern Chopin goes slowest, 1:37.5. And meanwhile, John Jones of Canada goes top of the group, 1:34.0. And a lot of bit of argy-bargy between him and Oscar Leroy. They're not going to finish at last, but it's going to be nowhere near their best times because all that time they spent battling each other just to get past each other. But here comes Rahal making his way across the line. Oh, he proves his time, goes into 8th. Leroy does not prove his time, stays in danger of being eliminated at the end of the session with 3 minutes left to go. So Vic Preston is now in the bubble with 7/10 of a second separating him and Oscar Leroy, with Vern Chopin bottom of the group by 8/800ths of a second of the Oscar Leroy. There's something that neither he or Schleser needed. Boots is going to the pits, Schleser is going to come to the pits, so Schleser, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get out to do one more flying lap, so he's going to have to hope that either that Preston, Leroy and Chopin don't beat him, because if two of them beat Schleser, then that is Schleser going to be eliminated from pre-qualifying. But with still less than a minute left to go, we'll see if who is going to win this group. It might be John Jones, but Boy Rahal is still on the track, so maybe he'd probably be the best contender to try and beat John Jones for that number 1 spot in this pre-qualifying group. So let's watch Boy Rahal complete this lap and see if it'll be enough for him to go into the lead. That's sector 2. Oh, he's nearly half a second off the pace, so it doesn't look like he is going to beat John Jones, but still a very, very good run from the American we see here. He's going to come to the pits and end his session with Stefan Johansson starting his flying lap. Do I think he's going to beat Rahal, Boutsen and Jones? No, I don't think so. But we're going to watch him complete this qualifying run, as he's going to be the last person to finish, which will finish this session. And here we go, Stephanie Hansen going down sector 1. He is going to be 7/10 off the pace, so that is already, well, that's already put some weight behind his best lap time. But here we go, this area is going down sector 2. See what he can pull out of his locker in the second sector. Meanwhile, the other two drivers look like Vatten and Preston are going to finish their runs. We'll see if whoever's first to the cross line doesn't improve their time. It doesn't look like it. I'm willing to bet that was Vatten that just crossed the line. So let's wait for Preston try to come across the line. Did that person improve their time? It doesn't look like it, and Johansson's going to be nowhere near improving his time either. So here we go, Stephanie Hansen down to the second sector, just a couple of corners left to go. Is he going to finish his run, or is he going to go into the pits? No, he's going to finish his run. Very, very good idea. And here we go, last corner. And what's his final time going to be? It's not going to be his best time. 1:35.8 stays in 5th, and that's the end of this session right there. So, John Jones wins the second group with Thierry Boutsen in second. Bobby Rahal takes third with Ludwig Heinrich in fourth. There's Stephanie Hansen, Ian Duncan in his debut in 6th, Neil Crown 7th, Ari Vatten 8th, Jean-Louis Schleser 9th, and the final spot's going to Vic Preston in 10th position, which means we say goodbye to Oscar Leroux and Vern Chopin if they don't make it to group qualifying. But before we start group qualifying, we need to do the F2 qualifying session first. And here we go, it's the F2 qualifying session. Of course, we've got our 3 debutants among them. We've got one debutant and 2 returning drivers. We've got Lombardi replacing Bernard Santal, who in turn is replacing the injured Walter Brunn. And we've got Didon and Waltergaard returning to F2 as they've replaced the dropped Herv Regout and the currently suspended Kenneth Eriksson. So let's see who is going to the track first. We're going to focus on them. It is Dick Johnson of Australia. Don't turn the camera on because we want to see the action. So let's see what Dick Johnson can do on his flying lap to set a benchmark for the other 25 drivers to try and beat. Is it going to be in? Looks like it's going to be in the high 40s or low 50s. But anyway, Dick Johnson's time, a 1:46.9. That's the benchmark time. See, it sounds pretty good, but we'll see how it translates to everyone else on the track. As we've got Björn Waldegaard on his return, 1:44.2. That's a very good time from the Swedish driver. And we've got Pierre Didon also on his return, 1:44.7, goes ahead of Waldegaard, who's ahead of Mikael Eriksson. And then we've got Mauricio Gugelmin goes into the lead with a 1:43.9. Good for a job for Brazil. Didon second, Waldegaard third, Pascal Gabon fourth, well just behind Jean-Pierre Frey is going to fourth. And then we've got Philipp Streiff of France, Klaus Ludwig of West Germany, we've got Pierre Chauvet of Austria, and then we've got Al Unser goes into the lead, 1:43.4, half a second faster than Gugelmin. Well, loads of times coming in thick and fast, so we've got nearly half of the field, we've got half the field now thanks to Lombardi of Switzerland. And we've got more times coming in. We've got John Winter to the top 3 ahead of Didon, so the returning drivers of Didon and Waldegaard are 4th and 6th. Need to look out for Lombardi. Oh yeah, Lombardi's in 12th. Not bad being on his debut. What about his teammate not Santal, Frey? Frey is 15th, so he's ahead of the man who raced in the first round of the season. So it's Al Unser leading the way. Alessandro Ni takes second. Third is Mauricio Gugelmin. John Winter 4th, West Germany. Pierre Didon is 5th. 6th is Yujiro Terada of Japan. Emerson Fittipaldi 7th. Björn Waldegaard is in 8th. Klaus Ludwig is 9th, and to round the top 10 it's Danny Sullivan. Danny Sullivan, who is currently leading the championship by 11 points of second place Tereda. In third place Al Unzer, who is currently leading the way with 17 points, with fourth place being Philip Streif, who is currently down in 13th. And throughout the top 5 is Ricardo Patrese. Where is Patrese? In 14th position, so not looking too great for Patrese or Streif. Teredi seems to be a decent run for him. Sullivan in the top 10. Probably would be expecting more, especially when his teammate is currently in the lead of this session. And who's at the bottom of the board? Akio Morimoto of Japan. And Morimoto, if I can find him, he came 4th in the reverse grid race, but came 20th in the main race. While Tereda DNF the reverse grid race and the main race came in 2nd position. Patrese goes into the top 10, goes ahead of Danny Sullivan. So Danny Sullivan will be wanting to try and get a better time and position than 11th. And that's Yannick Dalmas improving his position, goes into 15th behind his teammate Philip Streif, but will be expecting a bit more than that. 2/10 of a second slower than his teammate in Sector 1. His best time is 1.1 seconds off Alonso's pace, so that'd be good enough for seconds as it stands at the moment. Further down the field, we've got someone improving their time. That's Juha Kankinen down in 23rd position. So not looking too great for the Finn, especially with how good he was in the previous Formulalympic season, in the last 2 rounds of that season when he debuted. What about Kankinen's teammate? That is, if I can find it again, Hannon McCullough, and then McCullough is 17th, so he's not that much higher. And Sullivan Sector 2, 6/10 down. That might put him down to 3rd, but it's still, well, 3rd or 4th, but it's still a bit of improvement than 11th position. Let's see what Sullivan does here. Goes to finish his lap. No, he's going to abort the lap, and so is Patrese. So Sullivan stays at 11th, and Patrese will stay in 10th place. So we've got about 3.5 seconds left of the session to go. There's a couple of corners left to go for Lombardi. Let's see, what is his time going to be? Is it going to improve 1:45.2? 900 second faster than 17th place McCullough. Going to come across the line. He does improve his time. He gains 1 possession, goes into 15th, goes ahead of Yannick Dalmas. This Philip Streif managed to try and improve 14th position. Man who's in top 5 of the Drivers' Championship. And Philip Streif coming across the line. What's his time going to do? Goes into 2nd position. 1/10 down of Al Unzer. And there's Patrese on his out lap. What about Tereda? Tereda's on his flying lap. Nearly half a second down Al Unzer. However, that might be enough to improve his position. He might end up in 7th position. Goes ahead of Pierre Dodone. And we'll find out soon enough if that will be the case. Sullivan's in the pit, so he's going to be out of the top 10 going to the main race. So that might be a disadvantage for him. Here comes Tereda coming across the line. Does a 1:44.1, not quite enough to improve his time, but he stays in 8th place for the time being. And the time is about to run out, so just gotta wait for a bunch of people to finish their final laps. There's Martin Brundle in his home race in 13th place at the moment. His teammate Julian Bailey still down 21st, nearly about 1.5 seconds slower than Martin Brundle. What's Brundle do here? 1/10 slower in Sector 2. This might be this could end up being a top 3 for him if he finishes this lap. Okay, got a couple of drivers finishing their runs. It doesn't look like they're improving their times or positions. Brundle staying out to finish his last sector and his final lap. What's he going to do here? That's his teammate Julian Bailey just ahead of him. Lombardi, the man in his debut, goes into 7th, goes ahead of Pierre Dodone, pushes Terray down to 9th. Here comes Mark Brothers, come across the finish line, goes into 2nd, goes ahead of Philip Streif. Now here comes Philip Streif to finish his final lap. Can he respond to Brundle's late charge? Goes across the line. No, he stays in 3rd position. Meanwhile, Gasoni jumped into 22nd. That's Morimoto of Japan. A few cars left to go. And John Winter goes into 4th, goes ahead of Alessandro Nannini. And Mauricio Gugelmin, I think he finished his last lap. Julian Bailey stayed the 21st. Ruth Stoll in the back of the field. Now we got Klaus Lodwick and Patrese both gain possession. They go into the top 10. And we got Rudy Stoll went from bottom to 15th place. So good about last minute fix changed the board, and Tereda improves his position, but he finishes in 11th. Wow, so what a crazy ending to the session there. So Al Unser goes to pole and gets the 3 bonus points. Martin Brundle goes to the 2nd. Philip Street gets the final bonus point 3rd, with John Windsor 4th, Nannini 5th, Emerson Fittipaldi sandwiched by the 2 Italians in 6th, with Patrese 7th, Gugelmin 8th, Lombardi in his debut is 9th, and Klaus Lodwick rounding off your top 10. What a session that is. The championship leader Danny Sullivan will be starting the main race in 14th position, so he'll be not too pleased with that. And there would be Yujiro Tereda, who's only slightly higher than him in 11th position. So good opportunity for Alonso and Philip Street to maybe snatch the lead of the championship, with Patrese having an outside shot, possibly. Mikael Eriksson will be very unhappy to be down 21st, as he is 6th in the championship, tied on points with Patrese, who's starting in 7th. But before all that, let's get into the F1 group qualifying session before we do the F2 reverse and main races. And here we go. Here is our first group for group qualifying. So let's see which top 11 amongst them are going to make it to the race. Gerhard Berger, the current championship leader, is amongst them in this first group. Of course, last season's champion Ayrton Senna is also in this group as well. But first, let's see how Bobby Rahal does. It's the benchmark time for everyone else to try and beat. Just remember, top 11 goes into the race, with the fastest times determining where they end up on the grid. As Rahal's got a couple of corners left to go, and that's his time going to be set. So what is the time going to be for everyone else to try and beat? Well, the time is, coming across the line, a 1 minute 33.7. That seems like a really fast time. What about the Irishman? David Kennedy does a 1:33.4, goes 0.3 of a second faster than the American. So he's going to wait for everyone else to try and start saying lap times. We got Possum in third with a 1:34.8, so 1.4 seconds off the Irishman's time. And now we've got, I believe that'll be Jochen Mass into third position. Alboreto, the man who's second in the Drivers' Championship behind Berger, in fifth position. Then Jean-Louis Schlezer of France, 1:40.7, so 7 seconds off Kennedy's time. Oh man, that's a huge difference there. George Foshi, the man who got a shock pole position in the previous round, he's currently in 6th with a 1:35.0, 1.6 seconds off the pace. And now we've got Hideki Okada of Japan with a 1:34.7, so pretty good time there for himself. And now Carlos Sainz goes fastest, the man who came third getting Spain's first ever podium. 1:33.2 is the time, 2/10 faster than Kennedy. Senna is in third with a 1:33.5, so 3/10 off the pace. There's Rahal, I said John Jones goes to second, Kennedy third, Senna fourth. Okay, Bootsy goes to the second, then John Jones is third, Kennedy fourth, Aaron Senna fifth, sixth is Bobby Rahal, Chiba Salin seventh, Jorge Recalde is eighth for Argentina, Joe Camas ninth, 10th is Okada, in the bubble is Possum, with Antoine Salomon in 12th, Foshi 13th, Daly 14th. Now Bernd Schneider for West Germany goes fastest. Do we have a problem there with Carly there? Ian Duncan in his first ever group qualifying in 16th position. Alboreto jumping down to 17th. Oh, we've had an issue. What's happened here? Something's happened. Okay, we've got an Austrian. Is that Gerhard Berger that might be in trouble? Okay. So it might be Gerhard Berger. What happened to him? Let's see. Okay, so he's gone awfully slowly. Something's clearly gone horribly wrong for him. Let's see. There's Nelson Piquet. It goes on the outside. And oh, he went off. He made a mistake. Oh! Huge crash into Warwick. Okay. Oh, Berger made a mistake trying to get on the track. Didn't no idea Warwick was there, and that's. Oh man, Gerhard Berger, what? That was a huge accident. Hopefully they're okay. I think Warwick will be okay, but what about Berger? But I think Gerhard Berger is not going to make it to the race because his car's going way too slow to really catch a car that's 134.7. Okay, that's a disaster for the championship leader. Anyway, PK just got the last couple of corners left to go. Now he's going to board the lap and go to the pits with 2 minutes left in the session to go. Now, Gerhard Berger has posted a time of 3:26.5 at this time. He's got Derek Warwick being held up, but holding up Derek Warwick. Okay, so what about those in the track? Foschi on his outlap. Jean-Louis Schlez improved his time, stays in 20 above Alboreto. So Alboreto and Foschi, gotta watch out for them. Meanwhile, Senna down in 6th position, won't be too pleased with that, especially when he's got a title to defend. Then Senna did finish 5th in the first round, so it's no key result on Alboreto being held up by Berger. That's going to cost Alboreto dearly. So I think Alboreto may have to kiss his chance to qualify goodbye just for that moment there. George Foschi, he's going to be right behind Gerhard Berger in a second, so he might end up facing a baller. Carlos Sainz goes fastest, 1:33.1, goes ahead of Bernd Schneider. So I mean, an excellent result for him and for Spain in general. Schneider in the pits, he's finished up his session. Now we got, oh, look at this. Berger's holding up quite a few drivers. Joachim Massimiliano goes to 7th, goes ahead of Rahal. In the bubble is still Okada, so Okada just having to hope that no one else beats him, otherwise that's him not qualifying. So we've got drivers like Alboreto and Foschi amongst those in the bottom of the board that could end up beating him. But there's other drivers that could potentially be in. Derek Warwick beyond improved his time, goes into 20th ahead of Jean-Louis Schlesser, and he's going to bore his time and go to the pits, and that's him not going to qualify for the race. And here's Michele Alboreto going to finish his time. There's no way he's going to beat a CAS 1:34.7 because of what happens with Berger. However, he will just barely have enough time to go one more round, so an opportunity to possibly beat out Okada and make it to the race. He's got David Kennedy ahead of him, who's currently 5th so far for Ireland, so it'll be a really good result for him. And there's Aaron Senna currently 6th in this group, just ahead as well. As Alboreto makes his way down the first sector. Look at the map where Berger is. He's currently in the couple of corners ahead. There we go. 4/10 down in sector 1 behind Carlos Sainz as they're making their way down in sector 2. On the right hander, and then we go up to where Gerhard Berger is currently on according to the map. Now, will Alboreto be able to get around Berger easily, or will he be held up and that'll be his chances officially over? And oh no, he's going to be held up. Berger, what is he doing? What is Gerhard Berger doing? Well, that's destroyed Alboreto's lap, so that's officially going to be Alboreto not able to qualify. I think the organizer will have to look at Gerhard Berger here for that. That might end up getting Berger into a huge amount of trouble. I mean, he got suspended twice last season, and he might end up getting another suspension. So, Gerhard Berger, what on earth was that about? So, Michele Alboreto, well, he's going to finish his lap anyway, but it's not going to matter because he's not going to beat Okada's 1:34.7. He's not even going to make it to the race anyway. So, here comes Alboreto to come across the line with a time of 1:42.62, but not really much you could have done there. I believe the last driver to cross the line is Gerhard Berger, so we've got to wait for him to make it to the end of the session. Okay, that is everyone officially across the line. And so here is the overall time. The winner of this group being Carlos Sainz with a 1:33.1, with Bernd Schneider only 38 thousandths of a second slower in second. Thierry Boutsen takes third. John Jones is in fourth. Fifth is David Kennedy. Ayrton Senna is in sixth. Joachim Massimiliano. Rahal is eighth. Timo Salen takes ninth. Ori Ricciardo is 10th. And Hideki Okada rounds up the top 11, which means they say goodbye to Possum, Salomon, Foschi, Daly, Duncan, Alboreto, Piquet, Apostolo, Warwick, Schleiser, and of course Gerhard Berger. So what will the second group give us? Will we get results that are just as dramatic as this one? Well, let's head on over to the second group and we'll find out. Okay, here is the second group for the group qualifying session, and as you can see, some of the big names here like Alain Prost, A. Cheever are here. So let's see how the session goes, and it looks like the man making his debut, Bernard Santal, is going to go out and set the benchmark for everyone else to try and beat. A brave move on the Swissman's part, but will it pay off? Will he be able to get into the race? We'll see what Sal Van der Merwe can do for his team as Bernard Santal. Just a couple of corners left to go as he's heading towards the start finish line. What's the benchmark time going to be from the Swissman? It is going to be a 1:33.5. That seems like a pretty good time, but we'll see what everyone does here. As we've got someone who's on the flying lap, about to come to the start finish line, but it looks like it may have been held up by someone who was on the out lap. So he's on the board, and that's Ludwig Heinrich. 1:34.6 is his time. And who's that in front of him? It's Ari Vatten from the Finnish team. So we've got someone who's on their flying lap as coming across the line, and that is Alicio Salazar from the Chilean team. 1:34.7, faster than A. Cheever, who's only did 1:35.0. Meanwhile, Stig Blomqvist and Nigel Mansell go faster, 1:32.5 and 1:32.8. Very, very fast time from the two drivers there. Of course, you expect that from Mansell being in his home race. Meanwhile, Stefan Johansson dropping down to 7th position, so not looking too great for himself when he's 3 seconds behind his own teammate. And meanwhile, we've got everyone on the track on either the first or the second flying lap. And we've got Thorkild Thiring goes into 4th, goes ahead of Heinrich. Time is 1:33.8, and now we've got Louis Perez Sala, 1:33.2 now. It'll be interesting how they mix in with those in the first group. And now John Nielsen goes into 3rd, as we've got Johansson in the bubble, and Vic Preston goes into the danger zone with a 1:37.3. Sal Van der Merwe in 13th. Meanwhile, we've got Jose Celsi, another amazing time for 1:33.5. He is doing wonders for the Chilean team, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Costas Loss goes ahead of A. Cheever in 10th position. They say he's now in the bubble thanks to Ari Vatanen with a 1:34.9. And I say now Prost goes into 8th, that pushes Loss into the danger zone. It's almost everyone's set a time. We just need one more driver to set a time. Ivan Capelli does a 1:33.8. His teammate Albarel did not qualify thanks to the incident with Gerhard Berger. And now Franz Conrad, the final driver to set a time, 1:35.6. That puts him 19th position, ahead of Malcolm Stewart from New Zealand. So, go down, Jose Celsi having a good session. He's got Vic Preston though, being a bit of a pain. Oh! Vic Preston there went wild there. He was very lucky he didn't collect Celsi there. Vic Preston 10.2 seconds down. What on earth was happening to his time there? In fact, he's nearly 5 seconds slower than the fastest time, which is currently Mansell in his home race, who's about to start his flying lap. Now we've got 3.5 minutes left of the session to go. We'll go on board with a Cheever, see if he can get himself out of the danger zone. And here we go, a Cheever. Last couple of corners left to go. And what is Cheever's time going to be, and where's it going to put him? He is going to do a 1:34.0. That puts him to 9th. That pushes Salinen in the danger zone. Heinrich is in the bubble now, with just less than 2 minutes of the session to go. And now Alain Prost going down into 10th position. Vatten about to start his flying lap. The sole Dutchman, Luyendijk, in 14th. Van der Merwe 15th for South Africa, who did really well for the team in the last season. Yuro Yanyama on his flying lap for Japan. He's 8/10ths down. That would be good, but it still would be good enough to get in the top 11. But can Yanayama do it? Will he do it? Is he going to go to the pits and abort the lap? No, he's going to stay out, thankfully. But let's see what he can do here. Last couple of corners left to go. And and Yanya's time is going to put him in. He goes into 7th. That pushes Heinrich in the danger zone. Heinrich has come out to for one last shot, and Alan Prost goes into 4th, goes ahead of Louis Perez Sala. So A. Cheever sees himself in the bubble again. Can he get himself out of danger? He's now 7 tenths down. Dork is firing. Meanwhile, Prince Time goes in. AB stays in 6th position ahead of Santal. Is he going to finish the lap? Is he going to go to the pit? Oh, he's going to build the pit. He's going to hope that he has to hope that no one behind him is going to beat him. If he does, and that is going to be the end of A. Cheever. Would not be what he was looking for. Well, there's Lewandek. Meanwhile, he is in the 2nd sector along with Vatanen. Vatanen's nowhere near fast enough, and neither is Lewandek for that matter. And the session is about to come to an end with Ludwig Heimer. He's going to kind of close. Is he going to have enough time to get in, go and start his flying lap? Oh, just about. Literally just about. And Stefan Johansson in the 2nd sector. Oh, he's not going to be able to beat Cheever. So So Johansson is not going to make it to the race. It looks like. Vatanen, he's staying out for one last. Well, he's staying out. I don't think he'll be able to finish this lap, even no matter what he wanted to. Ludwig Heimer, here we go. Let's see what he can do here. Can he get himself into the top 11, push Cheever out, and have both Canadian drivers in the race? That's the question. Go on board with it. He's got John Nielsen, currently 3rd fastest in this group with a 1:33.0. It's going to be a quite tense wait to see how things will play out here. Here we go, coming down the 2nd sector. We've got a couple of drivers about to come across the finish. I'll see if their times improved or if their positions have improved. So Ludwig Heimer coming down the 2nd sector. His time is going to put. He's going to be 1.7 seconds down. Oh, I don't think Heimer's going to make it. Looks like I think he's going to be one to the out. I don't see anyone else improving their times or positions. Is Heimer going to go finish the lap? He's going to finish the lap anyway, but I don't think it's going to really matter because I don't think he'll make it. And here we go, last corner for Heimer. Where is he going to end up? He does not improve his time, and that's going to be Heimer out. Okay, so let's check the results. So Nigel Mansell wins the 2nd group with a time of 1:32.5. Stig Blomqvist finishes in 2nd. John Nielsen is 3rd. Alan Prost takes 4th, with Louis Perez Sala in 5th. Zorka Cyrus in 6th. Bernard Santal in his debut is 7th. Jose Selfie, another fantastic result for Chile, is in 8th. Yana Yamaha is 9th. Ivan Capelli in 10th. And the final driver to make it to the race is A. Cheever in 11th, which means we say goodbye to Heinrich, Salazar, Vatanen, Lewandek, Van der Merwe, Loth, Conrad, Johansson, Stewart, Preston, and Neil Krang. So with that result out of the way, before we get to the F1 grid slot, it's time for the F2 division with their reverse grid and main races. Okay, here we go for the reverse grid race here at Silverstone. It's Dick Johnson on pole position, Juha Kaikkonen in 2nd, with Jumbo and Akio Morimoto on the 2nd row, with the fastest in qualifying being Al Unser, Martin Brundle and Philip Streif. So they get the last 3 spots for the reverse race and the top 3 spots for the main race, and of course the bonus points that goes with it, with Waldegard on his return starting in 14th position as his teammate Mikael Eriksson is 6th. We have the debutant of Pierre-Alain Lombardi starting in 18th position as his teammate Jean-Pierre Frey is 8th. And finally, Pierre Didon in his first F2 race and his return to the Formulalympics starting 15th and his teammate starts 7th. So without further ado, let's get into the first grid race and see how things go on. We'll focus our attention on Dick Johnson as he is the man on pole position for this race. As we get this race underway now, and it's a good start for the Australian, but here comes Juha Kaikkonen. Akio Morimoto getting off to a very good start as well. Is everyone going to make their way through turn 1 safely? It looks like it. So Dick Johnson's leading the way. We've got Kaikkonen 2nd, Morimoto 3rd, Jumbo is 4th, but he's trying to make his way past the Japanese driver of Morimoto. We've got Julian Bailey 5th, 6th is Mikael Eriksson, 7th Gabon, and Jean-Pierre Frey's 8th. And we've had a disaster right Pierre Chauvet's gone off. But he's back on the road now, but what happened to Chauvet? Where did he start? He started, I think he started 11th. As we get onto turn number 1, what happened here? That'll be Bjorn Wallegard. Right next to him is make our way to the hairpin. And coming around the corner. Looks like everything's okay, but what happens to the next corner? And oh, it's Danny Sullivan that spins Chauvet around. Oh, Chauvet going a bit airborne there. So let's get Sullivan's perspective, just so we can understand what happened here. Going the left-hander. Oh, I had nowhere to go. Chauvet just... Okay, that's very, very fortunate. So just somewhere he couldn't get around the Austrian. Let's get the Formulalympic car back to the pits. So it's Dick Johnson leading, Kankinen 2nd, John Bowe 3rd, Akio Morimoto in 4th. We got Mikael Eriksson getting past Julian Bailey into 5th place. And then we got Pascal Gabon 7th, and the last driver in the point position is Hannah McCullough in 8th. Meanwhile, we've got Jan Dalmas getting past Jean-Pierre Frey for 9th position. As Juha Kankinen is now going to try to take the lead off Dick Johnson. Let's get a good camera angle here. And Juha Kankinen making his way past the Australian. Into the lead the race he goes. But there is Johnson's teammate John Bowe right behind him. There's Morimoto in 4th under pressure from... That will be Mikael Eriksson. Try to find a good camera here. We'll go with this camera. So there's Morimoto under pressure from Mikael Eriksson. Is Eriksson going to make the pass again to 4th? It looks like it. Yes, Eriksson is definitely in 4th position now. And Julie Bailey 6th. We've got Hannah McCullough, who's just got past Pascal Gabon for 7th position. And looking further down, championship leader Danny Sullivan, 13th place at the moment, under pressure with Manfred Stoll, who's ahead of him in 12th place. As we're on to lap number 2 of 9 of Dick Johnson. And we've had a disaster. Both Brazilians, Gugelmin and Philip Hayes, gone off, and so is John Winter of West Germany. Okay, what's happened here? We'll go on board John Winter, who's 25th. And he collided with Al Unser, it looks like. Just a very slight touch, so it's a different incident than Gugelmin and Fittipaldi. So happened to Fittipaldi. Oh, the two teammates have collided! Fittipaldi and Gugelmin spin each other out. Fittipaldi into the back of his teammate, and they're both off the road. So, okay, so by two separate incidents the same corner, roughly the same time. And it looks like Gugelmin is on the move. What about Fittipaldi? It looks like Fittipaldi could be out of the race. Yes, Fittipaldi's out. John Winter is still going on. Okay, so that was a dramatic first corner there. Hannah McCullough, meanwhile, gets past Julie Bailey into 6th position. As we've got Mikael Eriksson's got past, at some point, Morimoto into 4th place. But Juha Kankinen over 5 seconds ahead of 2nd place Dick Johnson. Meanwhile, we've got Mikael Eriksson trying to put the pressure on the Australian into 3rd position. We've got McCullough under pressure from McCullough putting the pressure on Morimoto to get into 5th. Meanwhile, Eriksson's got past both for 3rd. So McCullough's into 5th, Mikael Eriksson's into 3rd. Who's going to get a fast lap here? What's Kankinen's time? 1:44.4 is his time. Look at nearly 6 seconds ahead of 2nd place Dick Johnson. And 49 and 48, so miles ahead of everyone else, it looks like. And Hannah McCullough is now trying to make the move on John Bowe. This is for 4th position. And he easily gets past the Australian into 4th. There's Mikael Eriksson right behind Dick Johnson to try and find his way into 2nd position. So the two Aussies might end up falling out of the top 3 spots. And we've got another incident. Pierre Didon! Pierre Didon's hand off. He's back on the road in 20 seconds. But what happened to the Belgian? The man on his first F2 race and in his 2nd Formulalympic season. Here's Pierre-Alain Lombardi, the Swiss debutant. And, oh, it wasn't him that spun him out, it's one of the Italians. It's Riccardo Patrese that spins out Didone. Okay, let's get Patrese's perspective. How did this happen? Go to the inside. Oh, Didone just right in front of him. Yeah, okay. Patrese should have backed off. But that's a bit unfortunate there. So, Didone, on his first F2 race, dropping down to 22nd behind Al Unser. Meanwhile, Gerhard Berger nearly 10th, now nearly a 9.5 second lead over second place Dick Johnson. And look at this, Mikola and Ericsson right behind the Aussie to try and find their way into second position. Meanwhile, Julian Bailey's got past Morimoto into 6th. As we're on board with Hannah Mikola. And Mikael Eriksson looking like he's going to try and make the move on Dick Johnson. Is Eriksson going to pull it off? Oh, he might actually. And yes, Mikael Eriksson's into 2nd. Can Mikola do the same? Meanwhile, looking down to the back end of the points, Jean-Pierre Fraser past Gabon and Bailey into 8th. And Hannah Mikola not able to get past Dick Johnson. Not yet anyway. It's we're on to lap number 4. So we're getting close to the halfway mark already in this race. So imagine Pistols is going to be around the corner soon. Further down the field we've got passes. Meanwhile, Danny Sullivan trying to put the pressure on Pascal Gabon for 10th place. Can he get past the Belgian? Oh, he might actually, but here comes Gabon on the inside. So Julian Bailey in front of them. And it looks like Gabon is not going to let him get that position off him that easily. Not yet anyway. Meanwhile, the battle for third still continues between Mikola and Dick Johnson. Mikola trying to go for the outside. Not able to do it as we've got Yannick Dalmas now trying to put the pressure on. This will be John Bowe for 5th position. And Hannah Mikola right, still right behind him at the moment. Still got passes up and down the field. Al Unser's made his way to 19th. And here comes Mikola. Can he get into 3rd? Can he get both Finns into the podium spot? Yes. So we got Finland in 1st and we got the other Finn in 3rd. What's Gerhard going to do here? He's going to go into the pits this lap. So what about everyone else? So this could work or fail on Kankin's part. Is Mikael Eriksson coming in this lap as well? Yes, he is. And those behind, Mikola's coming into the pits. And we got Yannick Dallas got past Dick Johnson. But look at this, Dick Johnson's going to stay out. He's going to take the lead of the race. So here goes Kankin into his pit spot. In fact, both Aussies are staying out. So it's Julian Bailey and Pascal Gabon, it looks like. So Sullivan's in. So there goes Johnson and John Bowe. Julian Bailey, Gabon going to end up going past him pretty shortly. Waldegaard and Alessandro Nini is doing the same as well. I don't know about Chauvet, because Chauvet's still getting past the pit box. Of course, he had a very unfortunate incident earlier in this race. And Gerhard Berger, his first car of the pit, he's going to come out in 7th. Meanwhile, Chauvet was staying out, but Berger as well and truly coming ahead. Morimoto is in 8th, Mikael Eriksson 9th. Next come out is Jean-Pierre Frey in 10th, Mikola 11th, Yannick Dalmas is next. Then it's Rudy Stoll. Sullivan is 14th. Then is Klaus Ludwig in 15th position. We will focus towards the front now. We've got Alessandro Nini and Waldegaard battling for 5th position. Of course, they're going to be coming in the pits in this lap, I imagine. They're going to try and put as much of a gap between them and Kankin as much as possible. As John Bowe right behind his teammates, trying to see if he can find his way past them before they go into the pits. But it looks like Dick Johnson may stay as the race leader going into the pits. Meanwhile, there's Alessandro Nini, Julian Bailey and Waldegaard battling each other for temporarily 4th place. As the Nini has got past Julian Bailey into 4th place. And meanwhile, back towards the front, here comes the two Aussies. Yeah, that's John Bowe and Dick Johnson coming into the pits. Pascal Gabon will be following right behind them, it looks like. Yes, there he comes into the pits. Now Nini is coming in, so is Waldegaard and Julian Bailey. So we'll see what Gerhard Berger can do here. Meanwhile, Eriksson's got past Morimoto into 8th position. And it looks like Hankton is going to easily get past him and retake the lead of this race. And meanwhile there is Yannick Dalmas and Mikola battling hard for position here. Meanwhile here comes Juha Kankkunen towards the start finish line. And it looks like he's going to easily get back to the lead of this race. Yes, he does. And coming to second, it'll be Mikael Eriksson. And we're going to have Akio Morimoto going into third. Then Jean-Pierre Frey fourth. Dalmas goes into fifth. Mikola sixth. As we've got someone coming out of the pits. And I believe it's Alessandro Ni. He's going to come out in 10th. He's going to be just ahead of Pierre-Alain Lombardi, the Swiss debutant. So a good pit stop there for the Nini, but unfortunately outside the points. Meanwhile, Danny Sullivan, championship leader, there he is in the points position 7th, so he's going to try and get past Hannah McCullough for 6th, try and get even more points. And where's the pole sitter for the main race? His teammate Al Unser, 18th, just getting past Julie Bailey, who's dropping down to 19th position. And meanwhile, Danny Sullivan trying to make the move on McCullough. This is for 6th position. I think Danny Sullivan has just about got the position off the Finn. As it got really stalled out, it looks like he's going to try and have a go at getting past Mikola. What can really still here? Not going to be able to do it this time around. There's Jean-Pierre Frey and Morimoto battling with. This will be Yannick Dallas for third. As we've got Danny Sullivan amongst all this, trying to get past Jean-Pierre Frey into 5th position before chasing down Morimoto. And here goes Danny Sullivan as they're starting lap 7 of 9, going into the first corner. And it looks like Sullivan is not going to be able to get past Frey this time round. Meanwhile, Ruiz-Stoll though does get past Hannah McCullough for 7th position, so some decent points for the Austrian. So with Yannick Dallas into 3rd, here comes Danny Sullivan again on Jean-Pierre Frey, and this time it looks like he does get the pass. He goes into 5th. Now he's got Akio Morimoto to chase down, but here's Ruiz-Stoll and Jean-Pierre Frey battling with the American. It's Ruiz-Stoll in the inside line, but it looks like Jean-Pierre Frey may hold the position on him, off of him. Yes, he does. And look at this now, Klaus Ludwig into the point positions ahead of Hannah McCullough, with Alessandro Ni right behind watching on. He's got Lombardi right behind him. It's a very, very intense battle here. Sullivan is got ahead of Morimoto for 5th, so it's looking like it would be a very good result for the American to keep his early championship lead going for the main race, as his teammate who's in 2nd standing isn't going to get any points. He's down in 18th place still. And that is Jean-Pierre Frey now trying to make the move on Akio Morimoto, and Klaus Ludwig might try to do the same, but not able to pull it off, as Jean-Pierre Frey gets ahead of the Japanese driver into 5th position as we're on to the penultimate lap of this race. And this is looking very, very good there. Yannick Dalmas gets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:44.0. Nearly 2 seconds faster than Danny Sullivan, who is sitting in 4th place, who's 3 seconds faster than Jean-Pierre Frey in 5th. As Morimoto under a lot of pressure there from Klaus Ludwig, and Manfred still trying to put a bit of pressure him as well. And now Hannah McCullough's had a big off. Okay, Hannah McCullough's gone off. What happened to the Finn? He was doing pretty well this time. I think he was in 9th. Judging by his way, I think he may have been spun around by someone. Here's McCullough going in the corner. Oh, it's Alessandro Nini that sent him off the road. And trying to get back on the track. Oh, he's caught someone. Oh, a huge slam there from Waldegaard. Okay, let's see here. So the knee spins him. Oops, try what's the best camera for this? I pressed the wrong button. Hang on, try. What? Where's the button? I want the God damn it! What? Oh, I haven't done this in a while because I've had a bit. That's the button I wanted. Okay, apologies for that. I haven't been on here for a while because I've been busy with real life stuff in between recordings. So here we go. Here's Hannah McCullough, spun by this Nini, and that's Lombardi, and that is Waldegaard. That's spun him round. Okay, so big accident there for McCullough. Not a good way to end this race despite doing really, really well. So with 2 laps left to go, it's good. It looks like Kekkonen, Ericsson and Dallas's podium finishes are well and truly secure. Yank Dallas gets the fast lap of the race of 1:43.8. As we're on the final lap of the race, Sullivan in 4th with Jean-Pierre Frey 5th, and looking behind this, Ludwig 6th, 7th, Russell. Morimoto under pressure from Nannini. Can Nannini get himself ahead and get a point for himself? This will be a good result for the Italian. Of course, Nannini then has got no points at the moment. He got 22nd in the reverse race, and then the main race he got 14th. But here's Philippe Streif trying to get involved in the action. Philippe Streif trying to ruin Nannini's day. Morimoto is looking on behind him and seeing what's happening. Good, so you can try and pull away and try to get a point for himself. Morimoto, who is 11th in the standings with 5 points. So a lot of pressure is between Nannini's Streif now, with Morimoto hoping he can just pull a big enough gap to get 8th. But Nannini stays ahead of Philippe Streif, and now he's cutting down Morimoto once again. Martin Brundle is getting him onto the action here as well. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a race win for Juha Kankkunen. Not been too great of a first round for him in West Jerry, 12th and 13th, but a race win here in the reverse grid race, that's going to help him out in the championship standings. So with just 1 corner left to go, Juha Kankkunen comes across the line and takes the reverse grid race win here in Silverstone. As we got, wow, that was catching up to Mikael Eriksson quite good at the end, but it's going to be 2nd place for Eriksson. Dalmas is going to start, gets the fast lap of the race. Sullivan's going to finish in 4th, and Morimoto, just like 1 corner to go, has been passed by Alessandro Nannini. So Nannini is going to score a point. In fact, Morimoto dropping into 10th position, being passed by Martin Brundle. Here goes Alessandro Nannini to finish in 8th position to round up the points places. Now it's going to wait for everyone to make their way across the finish line. And here we go, that's everyone across the finish line. Juha Kankkunen takes the win by just under 5 seconds, with Mikael Eriksson 2nd, Jan Dallas takes 3rd, Danny Sullivan is in 4th, Jean-Pierre Frey takes 5th, Klaus Ludwig is 6th, Rudy still 7th, and the final point position going to Alessandro Nannini in 8th position, taking off Akio Morimoto with just 2 corners left to go, with Martin Brundle 9th, and Akio Morimoto will round off your top 10. And looking down towards the further down the standings, Streif takes 11th, Patrese is 12th, Bjorn Waldgaard and his F2 return is 13th, John Winter 14th, Lombardi's debut is 15th, Pascal Gabon is 16th, Al Unser is 17th, Gujimon 18th, Eugeo Tereda takes 19th, and Pierre Didon rounding off your top 20. And towards the back end of the board, John Bowe is 21st, Bailey 22nd, Hannah McCall did very well to finish the race at all in 23rd, Dick Johnson 24th, and the last driver to finish is Pierre Chauvet in 25th position, with Emerson Fittipaldi the only driver to have failed to finish. So with that exciting race out of the way, it's now time for the F2 main race. And here we go, it is now the main race of the Formula 2 Olympics. Juha Kankkunen's dominant win was impressive for the reverse grid race, but in this main race he does start at the back row of the grid alongside Dick Johnson in 25th. So what can Kankkunen do at the back row of the grid? Well, we'll find out soon enough. We've got Alonso pole, Martin Brundle 2nd, and the final bonus point, of course, going to Philippe Streif in 3rd, with John Winter, Alessandro Nannini, and Emerson Fittipaldi round the top 6. Danny Sullivan does remain as the championship leader, which has now increased to 14 points over 2nd place, which is still his teammate Alonso. But Danny Sullivan starts 14th. His teammate is in pole. What can happen here? Well, let's get into this race and find out. Focus our attention on, I don't know what I've got the Irish car for, but we focus on Al Unser as he's the pole sitter as we get ready to race here at Silverstone for the main race. Try to figure the camera, and away we go. And it looks like a pretty decent start there for Martin Brundle, his home race. But here comes, looks like John Winter, sorry. Is everyone going to make their way through turn 1 safely? It looks like it. So Al Unser still holds on to the lead. Brundle is 2nd. John Winter's got ahead into 3rd. Dave Streif is dropped down to 5th. He's been passed by Nannini and John Winter. And we've got Gugelmin and Emerson Fittipaldi battling for 6th. Of course, in the reverse grid race, 2 teammates colliding. Never a good thing to happen. With Klaus Ludwig 8th, Patrese 9th, and Pierre Alan Lombardi around the top 10. Let's get for Formulalympic car back to the pit before it's too late. Battling hard for 8th position between Patrese and Klaus Ludwig. Meanwhile, we've got Philipp Streiff and Nani battling hard for 4th, but it looks like Nani has got ahead of the Frenchman, with Mauricio Gugelmin now trying to put his 5th place spot in jeopardy. Looking further down, his teammates under pressure from Klaus Ludwig in 8th, with Lombardi 9th and Patrese at the top 10. They've got Yujiro Tereda right behind them in 11th position. Meanwhile, Johan Kenken, the reverse grid race winner of Silverstone, in 25th position. He's got Julian Bailey behind him. He's got Dick Johnson in front of him. So I'm sure they'll be able to get past him relatively quickly in the reverse grid race. And here comes Martin Brundle to try and get past Al Unser for the lead of the race. Can he make his way through? Not quite. Al Unser's going to hold on to the position. Meanwhile, there's John Winter with Nani and Philipp Streiff right behind him in 3rd position. We've got Alessandro Nani battling with John Winter for 3rd. The Italian trying to find his way through. And I think Nani has found his way into the top 3. Nani, very good there. He got his first point of the season in 8th position in the reverse grids race earlier in Silverstone. And here comes Philipp Streiff. He does have a bonus point for getting the top 3 in qualifying, but struggling for pace a little bit for a bit. But he is trying to get past Winter for 4th, and he's back into 4th position. But can he get past Alessandro Nani to get himself back into the top 3? And here we go, starting lap 3 of 17. Who's the fastest man of this track? Al Unser does a 1:45.9, but Nani does a 1:45.6. So he is the fastest man of this race so far, chasing down Brundle and Al Unser for the top 2 spots. It's still resident debut from Dave Sullivan went a bit right wide there. He tried to get past the Doan, but the Doan shut the door on him, and now Yannick Dallas is going to try and swoop in to try and take 15th off of him. As it stands at the moment, 25 points go to Al Unser, 0 for Daly. That would not Daly, Danny Sullivan, sorry. Al Unser would easily get past his teammate for the lead of the championship. And here comes Martin Brundle to try and get to the lead of the race. Martin Brundle in the standings. Let's see if I can find him for it. He is sitting in 11th position. He has 8 points. Finished 7th in the main race. DNF in the reverse grid race, and 9th in the reverse grid race in Silverstone. And so we start lap number 4, and it's a fast lap for. It was Al Unser for a second, but it's gone to Philipp Streiff, 1:44.9. So Philipp Streiff, a man on a mission to try and get himself back in the top 3. As we do have a big train of cars further down the field, which is led by John Winter in 5th. And here goes Philipp Streiff trying to move on the Italian. But it looks like Nani has managed to deny Streiff of 3rd. But here comes Streiff, still going to try for 3rd. Oh, it's quite tight, but Nani wins out this time round. And here we go, about to start lap number 6 of the main race. Fittipaldi under pressure from Klaus Ludwig, and I think Klaus Ludwig has just found his way past one of the Brazilians. Now, is he going to try and go for... No, Gugelmin is too far ahead at the moment, but Klaus Ludwig is now sandwiched by the 2 Brazilians as Pierre Lombardi watches on, maybe thinking about when to make the move on Fittipaldi, trying to get into 8th place. So the top 4 are comfortably ahead of the rest of the field. As Klaus Ludwig trying to make the move on Gugelmin. Alonso gets the fast lap of the race. Has Klaus Ludwig got ahead of Gugelmin? Yes, he does. So both West Germans are ahead of the 2 Brazilians. So Gugelmin drops on the 7th, Fittipaldi down to 8th. Now Pierre Lombardi sits back watching on, still trying to figure out when and how to get past Emerson Fittipaldi for 8th place. And here we go, starting lap 8 of 16. Al Unser gets the fastest lap, 1:44.5 is the time. Oh, we got past. Oh, the 2 West Germans have passed each other, so Ludwig goes ahead of John Winter. And, well, looking at the championship standings, Ludwig is 16th in the standings, his teammate John Winter is 18th in the standings, so the man with more points is getting ahead of the one with lesser points. struggling to keep up. In fact, the two Brazilians try to pass each other for 7th. And Alonso starts to pass up the race, meanwhile, with a 144.3. Gugelmin hangs on to 7th, denying Fittipaldi of 7th. While Pierre Alan Lombardi try and get involved in the action here, as Klaus Ludwig goes fastest, 143.5, well, over 2 seconds faster than his own teammate. So Klaus Ludwig is pushing to see if he can catch up to the top 4. So I imagine that's going to be quite difficult for him to pull it off, unless pit stops go in his favour. Looking at the championship leader, Sullivan's got into 14th, he's got ahead of Pierre Didot, he's got Rudy Stoll ahead of him in 13th position, and the reverse grid race winner Kankin is still down 22nd. He has caught up to Mikael Eriksson, but he's still 32.5 seconds behind the race leader of Al Unser. Okay, is Al Unser coming to the pits this lap, or is it the next lap? Al Unser's coming in, and Philip Street has finally found his way past Nannini, and oh! Contact! Okay, oh, Nini and Philip Street are coming in the pits, but that was an awkward situation there. Klaus Ludwig's coming into the pits. Fittipaldi and Gugelmin were passing hard. Oh, the two teammates are butting heads on each other again. It's happened again. The two Brazilians have collided. Lombardi's coming into the pits, and Fittipaldi gets the worst of it. What on earth is going on with the Brazilians? The Brazilian team have got a huge problem in their hands with Fittipaldi and Gugelmin, it looks like. So I think there's going to be an investigation with these two. I think one of them or both of them could end up being suspended for the next F2 race with this kind of behaviour going on. And it looks like literally everybody's coming to the pits on this lap. Emerson Fittipaldi has retired, so Fittipaldi's out of the race, and Philippe Streif comes out of the pits in the lead of the race. Nannini is going to be 2nd, Patrese 3rd, and Pierre Lombardi in his first F2 race, well, F2 main race, sorry, comes out in 4th, Klaus Ludwig 5th, Waldegaard is 6th, 7th is John Winter, Gugelmin is going to be 8th, Tereda is 9th, and Pierre Didot in his first F2 race in his second Formulalympic season, coming out in the top 10 with Danny Sullivan outside the points. What's happened to Al Unser? Al Unser, the race leader, had a disaster in the pits. This is Al Unser's chance of taking the lead of the championship it's just disappeared right in front of his eyes. In fact, not only disappeared his eyes, he's not even going to be in the top 20. He's going to come out of the pits in 25th. He is gone from 1st to last. Martin Brundle, the man who was in 2nd, from 2nd to 24th. From 2nd to 2nd to last. Oh, the pit stop has completely flipped everything on its head. Streif leads, Nannini 2nd, Patrese 3rd, Pierre Lombardi 4th, Klaus Ludwig 5th, Bjorn Waldegaard 6th, 7th is John Winter, Mauricio Gugelmin is in 8th, Yajir Tereda takes 9th, Pierre Didot rounding off your top 10. Wow, this has completely changed everything here. But here comes Klaus Ludwig though. It looks like they're trying to make the move, go catch the curb, but not able to get past him this time round. Okay, as the race leader Streif and Nannini start lap 14 of 17. Very, very dramatic results this will be. We're coming towards the end of the race. Philip Streif, what a race he's had. Qualified in the top 3 was tight tussle with Brundle and Nannini. Then the pit stops happened. Streif came out in the lead, and it just held to the lead ever since. Alessandro Nannini, what a performance from him to come up with 2nd. Patrese, he'll be delighted with 3rd position. But anyway, just a couple of cars left to go, and Philip Streif is going to come across the line to take the race win here in Silverstone and the championship lead over Danny Sullivan. Philip Streif comes across the line and takes the race win. Here's Alessandro Nannini going to finish in a very strong 2nd position. His teammate Riccardo Patrese coming across to make it a double Italian podium. There's Lombardi 4th, Klaus Ludwig will have to settle for 5th. Waldegaard in his first F2 round, is F2 retired in 6th. Winter 7th, Gugelmin will finish in 8th, Tereda 9th, and Danny Sullivan will finish in 10th as we wait for everyone else to make their way across the finish line. And here we go, that's everyone across the finish line. Philippe Struve wins the race by 2.8 seconds over Nannini, with Riccardo Patrese taking third. Then it's Lombardi is first, F2 main race in fourth. Klaus Ludwig takes fifth. Bjorn Moldegaard will be happy with sixth. John Windsor in seventh. Mauricio Guzman takes eighth. Eugene Terreno ninth, and Danny Sullivan rounding off your top 10. Looking further down, Dodone takes 11th, Rudy Stoll is 12th, Yannick Dallas is 13th, Mikola 14th, then it's Gabon, Mikael Eriksson, Juha Kankinen, John Bowe, Akio Morimoto, and Jean-Pierre Free rounds off your top 20. And towards the bottom, Martin Brundle does salvage 21st position ahead of Pierre Chauvet. Al Unser has himself a 23rd, with Dick Johnson and Julian Bailey rounding up the finishers, with Emerson Fittipaldi the only driver to DNF in the most bizarre way possible, and for the second race in a row having a collision with his teammate. So with that out of the way, it's now time for the F1 race. But of course, we always have to look at the grid positions first. And here we go, onto the grid climb. It's Nigel Mansell pole position with Stig Blomqvist on the front row. In third place is John Nielsen with Alain Prost looking at the second row. Carlos Sainz and Bernd Schneider are on row 3, followed by Louis Persala and Thorke Theiring. In ninth place is Thierry Boutsen, and around the top 10 is John Jones of Canada. There's David Kennedy and Barry Tal on 11th and 12th. 13th Third with Jose Celsi, 14th for Chile. 15th Joachim Mass with Yan Yao in 16th. Row 9 Bobby Rahal and Ivan Capelli. And in 19th position A Chiba with Tucson in 20th. At the back of the grid Jorge Ricaldi and Hideki Okada of Japan. With a good pole position time from Nigel Mansell, will he be able to win in his home race? With Gerhard Berger not in this race as the early championship contender, this opens the door for someone to take the lead of the championship. Who will that be? Without further ado, let's get into the race and find out. And here we go, it is the F1 race around here at Silverstone. It's Nigel Mansell on pole, Stig Blomqvist is second, and the final bonus point going to John Nielsen with Alain Prost from France on the second row. So championship leader Gerhard Berger did not qualify for the race. The highest placed driver is third in the overall standings, and that's Carlos Sainz, who will be starting the race in fifth. What can Carlos Sainz do here? Can he jump himself into the lead of the championship for himself and for Spain? Let's get into this race and find out. Of course, we have Italy, who are the highest placed team in the nation table in second, with Ivan Capelli down in 18th position. So let's see how things will go. So we'll focus our attention on Nigel Mansell. So we've got 34 laps as we get ready for this race. No! And look, a very good start there for Nigel Mansell with Stig Blomqvist still right behind him as they're making their way down to turn 1. Is everyone going to get through safely? It looks... Oh no, I think we've got someone who went off. Yeah, we do have an off. Yeah, someone has definitely gone off. We'll get the Formula car out of the pits and we'll find out who that is. So we'll get a replay of it. I think it might... Oh no, I think it might have actually been Alain Prost because I don't see him in 4th anymore. Okay, so let's see. Prost gets underway, making her way down to 1. There's Bernd Schneider right next to him. Yes, oh, contact with him and so it's him and Schneider at contact. So he's off. Doesn't get back on the yeah. Okay, so he's back on the track, but get a perspective of Prost. I just think it looks like Schneider just caught him by. Okay, so just on the side, and that was enough for Prost to go off the track. So that was quite tight there, but Prost is still in the race, thankfully. So it's Mansell that leads. John Nielsen goes into second for Denmark. Bernd Schneider is third. We got Stig Blomqvist trying to reclaim third, trying to get back into third. There's Carlos Sainz, who's in a good position to get a championship lead. He's just passed Blomqvist into 4th. Thorke Theiring of Denmark is 6th. Louis Persala 7th. John Jones of Canada has just passed Boutsen for 8th. And there's John Kennedy right in the top 10. But John Kennedy looks like he's trying to make the move on Thierry Boutsen. And yes, Kennedy has just got past the Belgian of Thierry Boutsen. Meanwhile, 1984 champion Ayrton Senna is under more pressure. He's been passed by, this will be Bertrand Santel on his first F1 race. And look at that already, he's in 13th at the moment, so he's already off to a good start for Switzerland. There's Sainz in 4th, Blomqvist still hanging 5th, and I've just noticed we've got an incident Oh, it's David Kennedy's had an incident. Okay, what happened to the Irishman? And this is over the bottom of the screen. It looks like it got tangled. Is that with... Okay, who did he get tangled with? Oh, he just went wide. Oh, and he got hit by that... That Joking Master hit him. That was Joking Master hit Kennedy, is it? Yes. Okay, so Kennedy's made a mistake and that's him off the track. But is that him out of the race? And meanwhile, Boy Rahal looks like he's got past Bertrand Santel. Yes, in his way into 12th. Okay, on to lap 3:34. Who's got the fastest lap? Right, Nigel Mansell's a 1:36.3. Is anyone going to beat that time? Does not look like it. I'm looking further down. Look at John Jones. Looks like he's trying to think about when to make a move on Louis Peresala. This will be for 7th position. Oh, I think Peresala is thinking about trying to find his way past Thorkin Thiring as well. Try to catch up to his team. He's up in 4th. He's still trying to chase down Bernd Schneider for West Germany. Still right behind Hideki Akada. He'll be thinking about when to make a move. John Nielsen 1:35.9, the fastest lap of this race. So he's faster than Nigel Mansell at last lap, so closing in on him at the moment. Those better in the field, 1:38. So got someone in the 1:37. That's Bobby Rahal chasing Ayrton Senna for 11th. 1:39 towards the back of the field. So the field is starting to spread out as we're on lap 4 of 34. Yet. Oh, here comes Carlos Sainz though after Bernd Schneider. Oh, can the Spaniard do it? Oh, side by side. Oh, battling hard here, but it looks like Sainz may have just found his way past and into. Sorry, goes. His teammate Thorkin Thiring may be passed. No, Paris may be passed by Thorkin Thiring, but further down we've got other battles going on here in this group. So it looks like Peresala has actually managed to maintain the possession. So Peresala stays ahead of Thorkin Thiring for the time being. But we've got quite a big train of cars behind him. So the pressure is going to be well and truly on for Peresala. The Thorkin Thiring under a bit of pressure from John Jones now of Canada. With Boutsen and Mass running to the top 10. But here comes Joking Mass actually. Trying to make the move on to Boutsen for 9th. Oh no, okay, so doesn't get past Boutsen. Boutsen hangs on to 9th, but now Ayrton Senna's winning a piece of the action on the West German. Here comes Ayrton Senna. Can he get himself in the top 10? The side by side. The moment. And oh, Senna's gone a bit wide. He doesn't get doesn't make the move on Mass. If anything, Rahal might end up getting past Senna. Well, it looks like Louis Peresala is actually closed in on Stig Blomqvist. Maybe he might be thinking about getting past the Swede to get to the top 5. Oh, going to the inside. Is Peresala going to pass Stig Blomqvist? Blomqvist falling down the order a wee bit. Yes, it looks like Peresala has found his way through. He goes into 5th now. Looking further down. And now Carlos Sainz, his teammates got fastest lap of the race, 1:35.3. So he's chasing down Nielsen and Mansell hard. He's actually pulled a 3-second gap over Bernd Schneider already. Looking further down the field, we've got Thorkin Thiring and John Jones are battling for 7th. I think Boutsen is trying to get involved in this. Yes, Terry Boutsen trying to get on the side of John Jones now, trying to get himself into 8th. And Terry Boutsen goes a bit wide. Oh, but I think maybe caught up between him and Joking Mass there. But John Jones does hang on to the possession. But now Joking Mass and Boutsen are battling now. And I think Mass has just passed Boutsen. Yes, he has. So Ayrton Senna, Mass has passed Boutsen. Senna's sitting right behind him watching on. So that's not going well for Thierry Boutsen there. He's lost losing the possession to Joking Mass. So Joking Mass is going to try and catch Thorkin Thiring, but now John Jones is battling with the Dane for 7th. But I think John Jones this time around may have just got past the Danish driver of Thorkin Thiring. Carlos Sainz in the fast lap of the race, 1:35.3, and John Jones holds on to the John Jones does indeed get past Thiring. Oh man, it seems to be trying to find his way, trying to find a move, make a move on Bootson, but it's just not happening. And here's trying to find his way through, doing maneuver, and there comes Joker Master doing the exact same thing as well. Oh, it's actually three-way. Bobby Rattle's involved in all this. Where did Bobby Rattle come from? I think he just got past into center as well. And Philip the Field Blomqvist has been passed by John Jones of Canada. Yes, so wow, Bobby Rattle has made a dummy of Senna, has gone to 11th. Wait till the time's right. Oh, we're in Senna. I saw Aaron Senna going towards the other side there. I saw he's trying to make a move on Rattle, but I think Rattle may have closed the door on him. So Aaron Senna not able to make a move on Bobby Rattle this time round, but interesting to see it happen. Team Boots has been Joker Mass battling hard, but here goes Bobby Rattle! Trying to sneak his way into the point position for the US. Oh, is Rattle managing to find a breakthrough? No, it's going through the gravel trap. And here comes Ayrton Senna to capitalize on the Americans' mistake and finally reclaim 11th. But Rattle's not going to go away that easily. It basically looks like Yanayama might be trying to get involved somehow. But Ayrton Senna has capitalized on Rattle's error, and that has cost Rattle 11th. As they're making down the long straight, here goes John Jones into the inside. Oh, Parasala managing to defend the position, but that was quite the battle there between those two. But John Jones still right behind him, not going to let him get away. And we've got Ayrton Senna trying to move on to Bootson. Ayrton Senna's on the inside. And look at that, he's got past Thierry Bootson, so he's now in the top 10 for Brazil. But here comes Thierry Bootson, he's coming back swinging. He'll be coming back swinging hard. As Bobby Rattle is now trying to get the pass on Thierry Bootson. And Bootson goes a bit wide there, that's going to slow him down. It looks like Yanayama might have been tempted to make a move there. You can't be too unhappy with the result, but here goes Timo Salonen though. He's going to be trying to pass the Swissman for 18th, and yes, Salonen has got past. So we've got Hideki Okada that's right behind him, but Santel's fighting back as Salonen, trying to keep 18th. By saying Timo Salonen has got the upper hand here on this occasion, and he does, so Salonen goes into 18th. So the biggest gainer in this race, it is Joachim Mass and by Rahul have gained 6 positions each. So Mass started 15th, Rahul started 17th. Then the next biggest gainers are John Jones, who's gained 4, Chivas gained 4, Ricaldi's gained 4, and the biggest loser is none other than Alan Prost, who's lost 17 positions, went from 4th down to 22nd in promotion in the first lap. But here comes, he's going to try to pass Berger and Santel, so Santel is going to be dropping to the, is now the man at the back of the back now. And we've got movement towards the battle for 9th. Aaron Senna trying to find his way past Joachim Mass. Roy Rahal is trying to get involved somehow. Oh, is Senna going to find his way through Joachim Mass for 9th? It looks like he's just gone and done it. What about Rahal? No, Rahal's not be able to do so. Oh, he cut the card there. Okay, that's going to slow him down. And then comes Yuru Yanayama, who's going to try and make the move on to Bison. Oh, Yanayama's it's gone off. Yanayama's off. He's gone back on the track, but oh my word, that's going to cost him quite a lot there. That's Jose Celsi, who's just noticed it. He's going to try to see if he can get past the Japanese driver for 13th. Wow, that what a sudden turn of events that happened there. And we've had an incident, and Hideki Okada, the other Japanese driver, has an off. Okay, let's see what happened to Okada. He was towards the back of the field. He's got Alan Prost right behind him. What's happened here from Hideki Okada? Did something happen between him and Alan Prost? Coming down the straight. There comes Alan Prost trying to make the maneuver. Okay, I'm not sure what's happened here. Trying. Oh! And Prost goes right to the back of Hideki Okada. Okay, so Alan Prost clicking. I think it looks like Alan Prost's patience finally snapped with the Japanese driver and sent Okada off. Okay, so that could be a small baller for Alan Prost here for taking out Hideki Okada like that. So can Hideki Okada get back on the track? No, I think Hideki Okada's going to be out of the race. Yep, that's him out of the race. Okay, not this lap. We've got Bernd Schneider. Oh, and Bernd Schneider is coming to the pits on this lap. Okay, so we're going to try and go for the undercut on John Jones and Luis Perez Sala. Could this strategy work? Okay, so Perez Sala goes into 4th. John Jones will go into 5th. What about those behind him? Is anyone going to come to the pits? Yes, it looks like Blomqvist is coming to the pits. Further down, I see Aaron Sense made a pass on Zorka Thiring. Oh, and Schneider straight out. So Blomqvist is the only driver in the pits. Which is Schneider come out in stage 6? Yeah, so Schneider is comfortably going to be ahead of them in stage 6. Blomqvist in the pits at the moment. Is he coming straight out? Yeah, he's coming out. Oh, he's just made a stop. But he's coming out now, so not as quick as Schneider, but still pretty decent, but pretty quick. He's ahead of Bertrand Santel, still at the back of the field. Okay, here comes Nigel Mansell. Is going to come into the pits now. So it'll be the moment of truth for Bernd Schneider to see if his early pit stop strategy will go in his favour. Same story with Blomqvist, who's come out in 19th. He's behind Alain Prost. So does Mansell. Nielsen's coming in. What about Sainz? He'll be coming in, I imagine. Yes, he is. His teammate Luis Perez Sala's going to have John Jones at some point, which we've missed, but they're coming in the pits now. Okay, Mansell going to make his stop now. Will he be straight in, straight out? Bernd Schneider is 6. He's going to be under pressure with 7, but 7 needs to pit. Schneider's already pitted. Going to be the truth, and Mansell's going to coming out. He's still going to be well comfortably ahead, which I didn't doubt for a second was going to happen. But what about who's going to come in second? Okay, so John Nielsen's going to stay in second. Looks like here goes Sainz coming out in 3rd. Luis Perez Sala 4th. Alan Jones 5th. Bernd Schneider, is he going to come in 6th? Oh, he's right behind Luis Perez Sala, so okay, but he is ahead of Jones, but Schneider not quite gone the way he probably was hoping. Stig Blomqvist, what about him? He's down 90. Is he going to get into... is Rahul pitted or not? Is Rahul pitted? Is he staying there for another lap? Well, Blomqvist is 8 at the moment. Who's going to be 9th? Okay, it's all... okay. Who's going to come in 9th? Of all the people going to come in 9th, it's going to be Jorge Recalde that's going to be at 9th. Where's he come from to come in 9th? Chimo Salonen 10th. Okay. Okay, so Salonen and Recalde, they see themselves in the top 10 all of a sudden. Okay, out comes Eddie Cheever, he's going to be 11th. Capelli 12th. Yanayama 13th. Mass 14th. Ayrton Senna dropping down to 15th. He's ahead of Jose Celsi. Well, it's gone through Jose Celsi, bizarrely enough. Santel in 17th. He goes ahead of Boutsen, Thiring, Prost, and Okada at the back. Oh no, Okada's out of the race. So Thiring and Prost coming out at the back of the field. In fact, Mansell is going to be lapping Okada. Okay, so Bar Rahul's coming to the pit. Okay, so Rahul did not pit. What can Bar Rahul do in this late pit stop strategy? He's not going to be able to hold. He's not going to get ahead of Blomqvist, because I think Blomqvist is going to be comfortably ahead of him. Will he get 8th? Will he be ahead of Recalde? Okay, he was pushed straight out. Oh, actually, it's going to be quick. Oh, actually, I think Rahul may actually get a jump on Blomqvist. It's going to be tight, though, between them. Going on board with Blomqvist. Okay, so Blomqvist is going to stay ahead of Rahal. Rahal's coming out in 8th. So okay, so Rahal's late pit stop strategy actually not too consequential for the American. Okay, so just to confirm, has everyone pitted? Compact progress pit stop. Okay, so everyone's stopped. So who has made the biggest gain and loss? The biggest gain thanks to the pit stop strategy, Jorge Recalde, 12 positions gained from 21st to 9th. What a turn of events Argentina have had with that pit stop. Timo Salonen, same story for Finland, 10 positions gained, 20th to 10th. Then by Rahal gained 9 positions, he's in 8th, so good. This will be amazing for him. The Masters got a fast lap, by the way. Next base gainer, Ivan Capelli from 18th to 12th. Good result for him. But Italy would have wanted more than just good positional gains. John Nielsen gets the fastest lap now, 134.0 in second. Biggest loser, Prost, still stuck towards the back. He's actually the only driver that's been lapped. Thorkell firing, a disaster in the pit stop for him, down to 19th. I don't know what happened there, but still, same story with Boutsen, down to 17th. Ayrton Senna, also a disaster with the pit stops, from being in the point position to being well and truly out of the point. So that's going to be very disappointing for him and for Brazil. And the Nigel Mansell, more than 10 seconds ahead of second place. Yuri Yanayama's got the fast lap now, 133.9. Yuri Yanayama has got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to try to salvage a point. And Ayrton Senna it goes even faster, but still well and truly behind in 15th place. But it definitely looks like it could be a step in the right direction for Denmark for sure. And Ayrton Senna says another fastest lap, 133.7. I think it was over a second faster than Jochen Massa, so he's closing in on Jochen Massa. So he is going for essentially damage control, because obviously his teammate Nelson Piquet isn't in this race. But meanwhile, Nigel Mansell at 27.34. Oh, he's got Alan Prost being a bit of a nuisance there. Going to trying to unlap himself. He's obviously going to be wanting to try and catch Thorkell Thiring in 19th position. Though I imagine Alan Prost is still already, but still got enough in his mind. Oh boy, Rahal has caught Blomqvist and passed him for 7th position. Okay, we missed that battle there, but what a maneuver there from Rahal. Didn't think he was close. I didn't think he was going to be able to close in on Blomqvist and pass him, but no, I've been proven wrong. So, what a good job there from the American. Want to get a few points for him and for this team. I think Alan Prost has actually managed to unlap himself, and that's actually cost Nigel Mansell quite a bit, because now Nielsen is close to get away from 10 to about 3. How on earth did that happen? I'm not sure. This Carlos Sainz in 3rd, Louis Pasteur 4th. John Jones has fast lap now, he's in 5th. About 1.6 seconds faster than Louis Pasteur on that last lap, so he is determined to finally pass Louis Pasteur finally. Look at this now, Joe Mansell trying to find his way past the back markers. I mean, Prost has just passed Thorkell Thiring, but Thiring made a mistake, it looks like, went a bit wide. So, can Nigel Mansell lap Thorkell Thiring? Well, he's trying to, but the back markers are probably be a nightmare for him. If anything, it's helping those second and third to close in on Mansell even further, just to try and solidify that there's going to be that it could end up being a battle for the race win, possibly. So Thiring's pretty much helping his teammates out here by slowing down Nigel Mansell quite considerably. This Sainz 3rd, Parasala, well, he's still got a bit of a gap between him and John Jones, but still something worth being wary about. Pretty much there for the taking if possible. And now Thorkell Thiring is trying to make going to try and make him a bigger problem. Mansell's trying to make the pass on Santel for 20th, but Nigel Mansell does get past Santel to lap him. Oh, but Nielsen's not able to do the same. Oh, actually, no, Nielsen might actually be able to. Okay, Nielsen looks like he has to manage to do the maneuver. Oh, Nielsen caught the sausage cutter there. If anything, that's going to help Carlos Sainz out. I think Sainz may have just got past John Nielsen for second. Oh, but Nielsen is coming back though. So the battle for second. Oh, Sainz has a spin. His team's going to hit. Oh no! John Jones has hit him. Schneider's past him. Oh no! Don't tell us this. This ends Sainz right here. Oh, what a dramatic turnaround this has had. Carlos Sainz caught the sausage curb, trying to make the move of Nielsen, and John Jones just whacks into him. John Jones, to be fair, would have had no chance of getting around. Would had no chance of knowing what's going to happen. Okay, if Sainz goes out at this late stage of the race, that'll be a huge disaster for him and for Spain. Well, let's say Luis Peresala is in third, so he would still get a podium for Spain, but for individual wise, that is something Sainz could not have possibly have afforded. So Raul's pass. Oh no, I think Sainz is actually going to be out of the race. Luis Peresala, he's trying to pass John Nielsen, as well. Now Luis Peresala is trying to have a go, try and do what his teammate couldn't do, and that's get past Nielsen. Okay, so not able to do it this time round, but we'll go keep our eye out on Nielsen in case we could have a similar disaster in our hands. John Jones there is sitting watching on. Peresala trying to find his way through, trying to close in on Nielsen enough to find his way through. John Nielsen trying to lap Santos. He's trying to get away, trying to get away from Peresala, but Peresala is not going to be one to to outmaneuver that easily. Here he comes actually, and yes, that's Sainz officially out of the race. Oh, here comes Peresala. Oh, Peresala trying to make the maneuver. Can he do it? Can he find his way through Nielsen? Nielsen's going a bit wide there. That could be enough for Peresala. And John Jones has capitalised on Nielsen's mistake as well, so John Jones has got ahead. Peresala has got second place off the Dane. And John Jones, the Canadian, has managed to capitalise on Nielsen, making a slight error, and has taken Nielsen out of the podium entirely. Oh, this late stage of the race, that is top class racing right there in the Formulalympics. And look at this, John Jones. He's going to try and take the second off Peresala. Okay, this is this fight for second place has just got very, very interesting here as we're now as race leader Nigel Mansell on the penultimate lap of this race. I know Nielsen's fourth place can be risking Bernd Schneider, and especially when he hit the sausage car like that. Now Bernd Schneider could probably take that fourth spot off of him. Oh no, it's gone off. Oh, okay. So Bernd Schneider has taken himself out. Has he taken Nielsen with them? Nielsen's back on the road, but I think Schneider may have just taken himself out of the race with that. Okay. What a dramatic turn of events this late stage of the race. Okay, go aboard Bernd Schneider. Oh, look at that. Hit the sausage. Oh! Nearly went in the back of Nielsen there in that incident. Going on turn one. Oh, they just hit each other. He's in the gravel. Nielsen just about managing to stay on the road. I think Schneider could get a small baller with that maneuver. Or maybe I don't know. We'll see what the audience have to see, but that, oh my word, Raul's into fifth of all things. Nielsen well and truly out of contention to get the podium, so the battle for second is just down to Peresala and John Nielsen, yeah, Bernstein's out of the race. That manoeuvre, he ended up taking himself out of the race, trying to, desperate attempt to get past Nielsen to take 4th. That's going to cost the defending champions West Germany pretty dearly, especially when Joachim Masters' disastrous pit stop put him out of the points contention. So that's a potential 10 or 12 points for West Germany in the nations table just evaporated. Ivan Capelli is going to capitalise on. He's going to the top 10 now. So Italy are actually going to get a point out of this thanks to Sainz and Schneider's DNFs there. But race leader Nigel Mansell is about to start the final lap of the race. He's lapped Thorkin Thiring now. Okay, so the final lap begins now for Nigel Mansell. I don't... Parasala and John Jones are not going to catch Nigel Mansell, let's be serious. So Nigel Mansell pretty much led for the entire, from the very start of the race. John Nielsen managing to hang on to 4th. Bart Rahal has made his way to 5th. Blomqvist 6th, Ricaldi 7th, Salonen 8th, Cheever 9th, and right for the top 10, Ivan Capelli of Italy. So actually we might have a battle for a point, maybe 1 or 2 points here now. And yeah, so I think we'll focus on John Jones the most. He's trying to close in on Louis Persal, but I don't think Louis Persal is going to be caught at the end. I think it's going to be Britain first, 2nd for Spain, and 3rd for Canada. Will be Canada's first ever Formulalympic points and first ever podium as well, thanks to John Jones. Managing to keep it together amongst all that late drama we just had there. Absolutely spectacular of what we've seen for this race. But anyway, let's not forget, but even though we didn't really see much of Nigel Mansell this race, Nigel Mansell on pole, led for the entire way, just a couple of corners left to go, and Nigel Mansell is going to come across the line and take the win here at his home race. So come around the last corner, and it's a victory for the United Kingdom with Nigel Mansell, and it's going to be 2nd place for Spain, and it's going to be 3rd for Canada. What a race that was! What a late dramatic race that was! We just got to wait for everyone to make their way across the finish line now. And here we go. That's everyone across the line. Wow, what a result that was. Nigel Mansell, from start to finish, wins this race. Louis Persala, amazing podium for him. John Jones in 3rd. John Nielsen takes 4th. Bart Rahal is 5th. Stig Blomqvist is 6th. Jorge Ricaldi, amazing result for him, for Argentina in 7th. 8th for Timo Salonen for Finland. Cheever 9th. And Ivan Capelli rounds off your top 10. As we look towards the back end of the results, Euro Yanayama is 11th. Ayrton Senna drops down to 12th. Joachim Mass 13th. Boutsen finishes 14th. Alan Prost, a disaster in lap 1, but he managed to salvage a 15th place finish. Jose Celsi, the last driver to finish on the lead lap, in 16th. Thorkin Thiring, 1 lap down in 17th. And Bernard Santal, on his debut, the last finisher in 18th position. However, because it was a 34 lap race, Bernstein is a classified finisher in 19th position. As we look towards the back end of the board, Hideki Okada and David Kennedy, the other drivers, are DNF'd. So with that very, very dramatic ending to a race out of the way, let's check the F1, F2 and Nations Table standings to see how everything shakes up after that dramatic weekend. In the F1 standings, looking at the board, Nigel Mansell now takes the championship lead by only 1 point over Gerhard Berger. They both won a race, but Nigel Mansell got a pole and Gerhard Berger took 2nd. That makes the difference. Michele Alboreto hangs on to 3rd, with Louis Persal taking 4th, and Carlos Sainz, who could have been leading the championship, down in 5th position with his DNF, with John Jones tying the same amount of points with him, with countback going in Sainz's favour. Dropping down to the F2 division, we have Philip Streif leading the way by 2 points over Danny Sullivan, who sits in 2nd. Riccardo Patrese is in 3rd for Italy, with Yujiro Tereda 4th, with Al Unser wrapped the top 5 with 20 points, and the constant teammate collision in the reverse and main race from Mauricio Gugelmin and Fittipaldi sees the pair of them have been confirmed to be kicked out for at least the next F2 race, and Gugelmin's main race result led him to being disqualified. And finally, going over to the nations competition, thanks to Luis Perez's second place finish, Spain now lead the way by 8 points over second place the United Kingdom, who make up for their double DNF in the first round of the season. Austria slipped down to third, with countback going in the United Kingdom's favour as their next best result of DNF compared to Austria's DNQ. Italy, meanwhile, are fourth with 19 points, with Canada around the top 5 spots with 15 points, as Portugal are still in danger of being eliminated at the end of the 8th round. So, what are my final thoughts of this race? Well, in my opinion, of all the races we've done in the Formulalympics, this has to probably be one of the best races we've had. It had pretty much a lot of everything. Lots of battling, lots of drama, lots of crashes, and lots of events that essentially flipped the entire race on its head. Apart from the race win, because Nigel Mansell was on pole and pretty much flew away for the entire course of the race, with the only hiccup he had was back markers, which helped Nielsen and Sainz close in a little bit. But apart from that, Mansell pretty much had this race won right from the get-go. But I hope you enjoyed this race as much as I have, and I hope to see you for the next round of the 1988 Formulalympic season. Can Spain maintain their lead? Can Nigel Mansell capitalise on probably getting another race win? Now he leads the way by 1 point over Gerhard Berger. I'll see you over for round 3 of the season to find out.